So all of this, okay, is a buyer of insurance, a long swap position here. On the other side of that is a dealer or a market maker, let's say, okay, who's writing CDS on bond I. Okay. And maybe CDS on bond J, on bond K, and so forth. So a portfolio of these things. Now we understand that a portfolio of CDS is like a portfolio of corporate bonds. You know, you're exposed to credit risk, and so like a portfolio of corporate bonds, idiosyncratic risk, you are pooling that. This is a diversified portfolio. Okay. But if you want to be a dealer in that, how do you hedge that? Okay. You could hedge that if you could find somebody on the other side, okay, who wanted to take a position in this bond and that bond and so forth. Probably you can't find somebody like that. Okay. This is why we have the CDX index that I was showing you at the beginning. Okay, that the dealer can hedge. This is 100 different bonds. Okay, so it's an index that's a diversified portfolio of bonds. Okay, and you might be able to use this because this will be correlated to this portfolio of bonds here. Use a position, a CDS in CDX that references CDX as the way to hedge that exposure. And on the other side of that, okay, might be somebody who's just looking, so an asset manager, who's looking to get exposure to a portfolio of bonds. That's what this is. This is exposure to a portfolio of bonds. So I'm showing instead of what we were looking here, we're thinking about this as individual people wanting to trade individual CDS on individual bonds. Okay, more characteristic of what the world really looks like is sort of this, where there are people who want to hedge exposure on something individual, okay, which they buy from an investment bank. Okay, and then the investment bank creates a portfolio of that and hedges that, okay, with somebody who's not concerned about individual bonds, but about the bond market or something like that. I'm setting it up in this way so that you can start to see why liquidity might matter. Because once you have a dealer in the middle, this is what we know in this class, right? Once you have a dealer in the middle, you know that the order flow is going to push these prices around, okay? And when it pushes the CDS prices around, it doesn't necessarily move the bond prices, okay? It pushes the CDS prices around, and then somebody has to do an arbitrage in order to push the bond prices around, okay? So a lot of arbitrage opportunities seem to appear in the world, okay, when you have dealers making markets and quoting CDS prices. Whenever the CDS prices are out of line with the bond prices, it looks like an arbitrage opportunity. And sometimes it is.